If you're wondering how to use Relevance AI agents to research potential leads through LinkedIn specifically, this video is exactly for you. In this video, we're going to connect a few different research tools that search a person's LinkedIn profile as well as a company LinkedIn profile to a specific Relevance AI agent designed to create personalized messages for these leads. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Matt Paiva. I build AI solutions for businesses, and I've been documenting the process of building a Relevance AI agent that deals with all of my inbound leads. And in the last video, we outlined how our process works internally of receiving these leads and actually researching them manually. And I've been automating this whole process. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect tools that specifically research LinkedIn profiles to a Relevance AI agent so you don't have to do it manually. So at the very end of last video, we covered a tool that researches a company profile on LinkedIn. So in this video, we're going to start by looking at how to research a LinkedIn personal profile. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and create another one of the same tool that does Google search. And I'm going to go ahead and clone this. But this time, instead of doing find LinkedIn, find companies LinkedIn, we're going to go find leads LinkedIn echo. What type of information are we going to need? We're going to do a search query based on a couple of different things. Well, we're going to do like a simple search query, I think. The search query will be the name of the company, the name of the person, like first name, last name of the person, and then the name of the company, just like this. That should be good enough for here. Now let's adjust the prompt over here. Help me filter this list of Google search results down to the most likely to be the leads LinkedIn URL. I'm also gonna add another. I actually don't know if this will be required, but I'm doing it for the sake of the argument over here. We're gonna add some more inputs for first name, last name, and the company name just to aid the tool in creating the search query. All right, so we have, let me change this to leads first name, leads last name, company name, and this Google search query. So we're going to use that to create a search query. And then instead of having company summary, oh yeah, I need to change the name of this variable to from company summary to company name. That should automatically update over here. Actually, I'm gonna name this inputs, and then we're gonna have company name, and then we're gonna have the other inputs that I need. Honestly, this might be redundant, but since I already started, we're gonna keep going with it. It's very simple to add these things. What? Oh, I didn't rename the variable, so we can just do text. Okay, so we need to go over here, rename this variable. We're gonna rename it last name. Awesome. And then we're gonna change the prompt. The prompt just says, help me filter the list of Google search results down to the most likely to be the leads LinkedIn URL. Although you can return up to 3 max based on the likelihood of matching the inputs from the above source URL. Exactly. You can also use the search query as a guide as to what exactly was searched for and wanted, but focusing on answering or finding the LinkedIn link. Okay, so the leads LinkedIn profile. I'm also going to go ahead and remove this note over here because we don't need that to be structured. Search your internet for information about a topic, person, or company. Will scrape multiple. Ooh, I forgot to fix the description of the tool, and this is important. Search the internet for information about a person. Okay, so we already changed this. I don't know why this is so small. So I forgot to do this. I'm going to have to do this for all of the other tools. If you click over here on edit agent prompt, we will see the prompt of how our agent will use the tool. And we are changing some of these tools to follow a specific format. And I was just changing the description of the tool over here. but I forgot that Relevance AI has this new feature of the prompt your agent. It's actually not new, it's been here for a minute, but before we used to just use the description of the tool. So here I'm gonna go ahead and copy the description and paste it over here, and it's just gonna say search the internet for the LinkedIn of a person. I'm just gonna change the wording here for a lead. We'll look at Google results to identify leads LinkedIn. Okay, we're gonna have to go ahead and do this to the other tools as well. Let me just save this, and I think we actually just need to do this for the company's LinkedIn, especially because here it will be different. Search the Google for information about a topic, person, or company. For information about a company. For the LinkedIn of a company. Okay, so this agent prompt says, be specific with your search query, add quotes around the company name, and add additional specific details to not have to be confused with other entities. This portion over here, I'm not sure if I want to keep. I'm actually going to keep. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep because that could be interpreted as many different things. So for this sentence over here, I'm not sure if I was going to keep it, but let's keep it for right now. I guess this could help us there's probably a reason why we keep this there. Be sure to follow any additional instructions you may have been given when coming up with the search for this web. I'm going to actually copy this information and paste it in the other one as well. Cancel. I thought it's saved already. We're good. Fine. Leads LinkedIn. And we're going to edit the agent prompt. Be sure to follow any additional information. Query should include the lead's full name and the name of the company to maximize chances. Okay, so we changed the information here as well on the other one, and let's just situate ourselves with what's going on. Okay, so let's take note of what we've done so far. We've gathered these 4 tools. We have the extract and summarize website content for Echo. We have get company profile for LinkedIn, and then find the company's LinkedIn, find a lead's LinkedIn. What else do we need? We actually need to use a tool to get a personal profile from LinkedIn and actually summarize that information. And then last but not least, we need to create a tool from scratch that will be our tool for the email drafting portion. Okay, so let's go back to our templates over here and let's use the extract and summarize LinkedIn profile, or should I use get personal profile from LinkedIn? Which one has more? They have pretty much the same number of runs. I think the difference is that the extract and summarize will have an LLM step that will actually summarize the person's profile, and meanwhile the other one will actually have a JSON output. But what is good is that we needed to get it would be good if we got the recent posts for a person as well. So we're going to keep that information for later down the line. Okay, so we're going to use the extract and summarize LinkedIn profile. And here, let's just use this example that's already set up. Generate profile summary. Let's see what the LLM is asking for. Above is the LinkedIn of a potential prospect called blank. Can you please help me summarize the person's profile, include especially recent experience in summary? If there's no relevant information above, include especially recent experiences in summary. I feel like this is not that relevant. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a lot of context about my business and his business here. These prompts, especially, I mean, they work, but they're not great. I'm gonna have to come back here on V2 and double check each one of these prompts because they're not awesome. Context. Okay, I'm just gonna add some very small context over here. I'm going to create, I'm gonna outline that this is for Echo, and I'm pretty sure that this is gonna work right off the bat. I did run a test before, but now that I've adjusted the prompt, I'm just going to save and publish. All right, so we saved this tool for now, and I'm gonna keep this one simple. This is just extracting and summarizing a LinkedIn profile. I just included some more context in this prompt over here, but I might work offline to include some more information on this prompt, because the key portion over here of this step is for us to find relevant information about our prospect to have a real conversation with them. And essentially, we want to find something that we want to compliment on so we can follow the ACA framework over email as well. So to recap, we gathered, I think, 5 or 6 tools already for our agent, and we're going to create one from scratch next, which is going to be the tool that drafts the email following the framework and using all the information that we had from before. And then once we have all those tools combined, we're going to import them into the agent and run a couple tests, see what V2 is going to require. So that's it for right now, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, so it's day 3 of our agent build that looks at inbound leads. And today on the menu, we have a couple of things to do. We are going to create our last tool from scratch. And this tool is essentially going to take information about the lead, take information about the company, and create a personalized email so we can send to that person. And we're going to bring all those tools together to the Relevance AI agent and adjust the agent prompting and then run some tests to see how it is performing. So why don't we start out by taking a look at the templates that we have here on Relevance AI about emails. I know that there's like templates about creating personalized emails like this one, generate personalized email opening. Let's see if we can extract anything from that one, and generate sales opening email as well. We'll take those two just to see if there's anything interesting inside of those tools. So this one takes the LinkedIn URL and it provides a service and context feedback for a company. So, okay, format LinkedIn post, summarize LinkedIn post, generate personalized line. Wait, I remember using this way back, and we'll actually run this tool to see how the output looks like. I know it's like a really big tool. There's so many like steps that actually extract the information from LinkedIn and create multiple iterations of a message to send on LinkedIn. Like this one has 3 iterations of a single message on LinkedIn, and I was curious to see the output that it would come up with, because I'm considering using this same template to essentially just change the prompts to adapt. Instead of we're sending a LinkedIn message, we send a message on email. Now what we have here, the final output, this is for Gary V, by the way, the example that we ran. And it says, impressed by your innovative campaigns at VaynerMedia, especially the recent TikTok strategy. Your ability to connect with brands with audiences is truly inspiring. Not like fully impressed. I think I'm gonna go with the actual like building it from scratch. I'm definitely impressed by the number of steps, but I'm not sure exactly what happens in the middle of this. This one, for example, iteration 1 of the opening line says, I stumbled upon your LinkedIn and was really impressed by your long-standing leadership at VaynerMedia since 2009, especially your knack for driving brand relevance and understanding consumer trends. I actually like the first one a little bit better. Came across your LinkedIn, I was impressed. Iteration 2 says, I came across your LinkedIn and was impressed by your leadership at VaynerMedia since 2009, particularly your ability to drive brand relevance and your deep understanding of consumer trends and dynamic industry. Okay, good still. I feel like he just kept making it more concise every single time. And then the final one just gives like a 1 sentence. I guess that's, yeah, it's probably prompting it to remove any like high name, stuff like that, and to keep it very concise. So I think that editing all of these prompts will actually give me more work than just creating the tool from scratch. There was this other one as well, and I just want to see. Well, it starts with the inputs of a company name, provide a company summary, a recipient name, a recipient background, your company name, your company background. Okay, that's actually a little bit better. We'll see. We'll run this, and I guess the examples are the same. The example is using Gary V and Relevance AI as the company. So we'll see what kind of output it comes up with. Yeah, so actually this is pretty much the structure that I was going to go with. I might just clone this and change it to my purpose. But here we have like the company name that's going to receive, company summary. These 2 pieces of information we definitely have and we're definitely going to need. Recipient name, it's going to be like the lead name. I might change this. Recipient background could be the summary from that. And then your company name, your company background and products. We can probably hard code this into our prompt. So actually, let me go ahead and clone this one, and we will start by creating that. So we're gonna generate sales opening email, create a personalized opening email for sales outreach we're gonna have to change the agent prompt as well. Actually, that's gonna be like the first thing that we're gonna do. I'm gonna change the name Echo just for the sake of organization, and I'm gonna say generates ACA email. That's gonna be the name of the tool. Okay, so we're gonna change the agent prompt to say use this tool to craft a compelling email that follows the ACA framework. When provided with a company name, description, and target lead, use this tool after we have scraped the information about the lead and the company. And then I would say the lead information is optional in case our previous LinkedIn scrape failed. So, okay, from here, we're going to change the inputs. Let's start by changing the inputs. We're going to include company name, enter the name of the company you're targeting for the sales email. For the email, okay, that's going to be a required input. Company summary, provide a brief description of the target's company, business model and operations. I guess business model and services, just to use the same language that I have from before. These two are going to be required. Recipient name. No, we have the recipient name. I actually know that. So we're just going to change this to lead names. Specify the name of the individual who you are addressing in the email, and then send to. And then recipient background. Oh, this is awesome. Actually, this tool already has this being the an optional field. Include background information about the recipient. This is our summary from the LinkedIn. I should actually be using the name of the actual tools that we're going to use in the thing, in the agent itself. So why don't we go over to my tools and check the name. So we have extract and summarize LinkedIn profile. This is our summary. This is the output of the tool. Summarize LinkedIn. What was the exact name of the tool? I'm going to copy this. Extract and summarize. And I'm also going to copy this and paste it over here with obviously the change in the name. This is, and then I think that one was like company profile instead of LinkedIn profile. Get company profile from LinkedIn, just to keep it a little bit better explained of what we want from each input. I'm not sure if this should be in our agent prompt, but I feel like if we define what data user or agents need to provide for this tool to work. So that definition should be good. We're going to delete these two, company name and company background and products. I'm just going to read what we have over here. So actually, like, whenever I should probably have a summary ready to go for whenever I use these types of things that I can just go and copy and paste into every prompt that I use. But I don't have that as of right now. So we're going to go and fix that. We can see that you are using product background, but that doesn't exist. So we're gonna go and fix that. We're also, by the way, we're gonna fix all of these prompts. Like, I need markdown formatting. I need a lot of new things. So rule, you are a professional copywriter. Wait, what did I think I deleted something else. Oh, okay. I think this was like an input of company. Yeah. Okay. So also we're gonna like rename this tool, generate unique ideas. We're gonna change this to generate unique compliments. So this is the AC part. This is acknowledgement and compliment. Actually, I can do the ACA portion here. Yeah, we can like generate unique compliments. So how I'm thinking about this tool is pretty much using the same framework that I had before of generating ideas, creating the email opener, and then composing the full email. But instead of creating the email opener and then composing the full email, I'm gonna have an extra step that like evaluates the output of this step and then selects the best one. So we're gonna have 4 steps: generate the unique compliments, evaluate the unique compliments, and choose the best one, and then use maybe that same tool to evaluate and create the email opener, like that first paragraph, and then another one to compose the full email. It might actually not need all of these steps. Yeah, we could probably compress this tool into 2 major prompts. I think actually it wouldn't be a key problem. Okay, now let's keep adapting this prompt. We know that we need to include a role and then a task. For our task, we're going to say, you will understand a company based on the name and a summary. How am I going to task this? What is the step-by-step? Oh, now that I think about it, I need to change this input. I said that this is the output of the tool get company profile from LinkedIn, but we could also have the output from the, yeah, I'm gonna have to delete that because we could also have the summary from the website scrape. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm getting stuck because there's no real like step-by-step process here. Maybe I don't need it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna paste this information about the ACA framework and I'm gonna ask GPT 4.5 to create some more examples. Below, you have some information about the ACA framework where you acknowledge what a prospect is saying and compliment something about them. I want you to generate some examples, but instead of acknowledging what a prospect is saying, we are acknowledging something based on the research that we have done on that prospect. So this research either comes from the company summary, which is basically a scrape of the company's website and company's LinkedIn, as well as the lead's LinkedIn profile. So I need you to come up with 5 examples that we could say of like inputs and outputs. For example, one thing could be the LinkedIn profile of the lead says that they have been in business for 2 decades, and you can acknowledge and compliment that. Come up with better examples and consider what you would usually find on LinkedIn. I like to do these verbal prompts to see what I can come up with. And I'm going to give it some more context. So I've been building out the tool and tweaking the prompt as ideas came to me, and I actually tweaked the prompt quite a bit. So the first prompt we have over here is we included a role about being a professional copywriter focusing on writing emails. Then we defined the task about what we want to do, included a little bit of context, and a little bit of some examples of how we want the acknowledgement and the compliment to sound like. And I was like kind of okay with the results that were coming in. I always had the plan of creating a filtering step after, so I went ahead and I built that prompt as well. Same structure, role, task. And this time I included a criteria that I used ChatGPT to build to see what made sense. This time I included a criteria to evaluate the compliments and the acknowledgements, and I used ChatGPT to kind of come up with a criteria based on what I wanted. And I was running some tests adapting the prompt because this is how usually I do things. And I just swapped the model from the OpenAI model. I was using the 4.0 mini, if I'm not mistaken, to the Claude models, and it's coming up with such better outputs. I'm actually going to show you guys an example, and I'm going to run this here with the OpenAI 4.0 mini, and then here we're going to use the same model, OpenAI 4.0 mini, and we're going to run this first step. And the first step is going to like look at the summary of a company, look at the summary of a lead, which I actually just went to these tools here to run them, and then I copied the information from here to come up with some compliments and some acknowledgements. And I was reading this and I was like, okay, for example, this one, it says like, I seen you've been the chief commercial officer at a company for nearly a year, focusing on strategy and technology. That's impressive. Your ability to drive innovation in such a dynamic marketplace speaks volume about your leadership and vision. That's not bad. That's good. But then it's pretty like long, and I was planning on using the second step to fix it, to pretty much look at that and make it sound more human, right? And I ran it with GPT 4.0 mini as well, and I asked to just give me an adapted like the two best acknowledgements and compliments, and it still sounds really weird. Like, look at this. I see that you've been chief commercial officer for the company for nearly a year, focusing on strategy and technology, evolution in the commercial property sector for the sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. I asked it to include locations and to include dates whenever possible, but this doesn't really add up to much. The second one was like, I noticed you have a strong following on LinkedIn, which reflects how your influence and thought leadership in the industry. That's fantastic. It's clear that your insights resonate with many, showcasing your knack for connecting and inspiring others. Like I don't love the way it sounds. So I went ahead and I used Claude v 3.5 Sonnet, which is their latest model. And granted that it is much more expensive here in relevance, like we're using 5.4 credits out of in comparison to 4.0, which was 0.23 credits. But let's just compare this output. I'm not even going to change the output from the first model. I'm just going to change the output for the second model that's reviewing and queuing, like reviewing and adapting, to show you guys the difference of what I mean. So it says, based on the criteria, I'll prioritize acknowledgements that highlight specific achievements, etc. Let's look at the ones that it highlighted. Okay, so option 1 says, I took a look at the Into Assets, which is the name of the company, and I was impressed by how you transformed property auctions in South Africa through your digital platform. Building a tech-forward solution in a traditional offline industry shows real vision and grit. That's a little bit better. Still not exactly what I was hoping for. The second option was, I noticed your journey from banking leading to commercial strategy into assets, particularly how you're revolutionizing property transactions across the sub-Saharan Africa. Still don't love this wording. Your ability to bridge the traditional finance with innovative tech solutions really stands out in the industry. So better, but not great. And then I noticed that when I changed the first one to an open, instead of an OpenAI model, to just use a Claude model that is relatively cheap. And in this case, I am going to use the Claude V3 High-Q because I'm pretty sure that's the cheapest one. And I'll run each one of the LLM steps to compare the outputs that we get. So I'm not even going to go ahead and read these ones, but I'm just going to run it in here in relevance. Okay, so we have two options that are new now. And our two final options are, I took a look at your journey into assets and notice how you've been driving their technology evolution in commercial real estate property sector. So actually, like I still don't love the output. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to give the first model, I'm just going to improve the model. Let's use the same model twice. So I still didn't love the output that was coming up with when I used the cheaper Claude model. So I went ahead and changed the model to the Claude v3.5 Sonnet. It is more expensive, like I said before, in comparison to GPT, but I want to get the best possible output in here. Like I want this to be able to sound like a human. So when I look at it, I don't need to go back and do all the research and rewrite the whole email, right? So this one, let's see what the options came up with. Okay, so I like these ones a little bit better. Option 1 says, I took a look at your background and was particularly struck by how you're successfully leading in both Company A and Company B African operations. That kind of high level execution across different contexts is rare. That's like a really good personal compliment that we could include in an email. The second one is a little bit more to do with the company itself. So it says, like, I noticed that the company launched its digital auctions back in 2019, well ahead of the industry curve. That kind of foresight and digital transformation really stands out in the property sector. That's also really good to mention. Like, I know that for this case specifically, this person wasn't working at the company in 2019, but also the second prompt doesn't have that information. That information is only here in the lead summary or the recipient background, however we're calling this. And that information only goes on prompt number 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and tweak this a little bit and wrap up this tool, and we can go over to the agent prompting so we can adapt those prompts and include all of these tools in there and wrap up this build. So now that we've covered how to scrape LinkedIn to find specific information about your leads and personalize your emails for it using these Relevance AI tools, you might be wondering, what else can you use Relevance AI tools for? And you can actually connect a bunch of these tools to custom GPTs. So if you're curious on how to do that, I'm gonna leave the video right over here where you can go and watch me build a marketing custom GPT that connects 4 different tools into a custom GPT, and you can access it whenever you want. So feel free to go and watch that and wait for part 3 of this video while it doesn't come out yet.